In the vast reaches of space, the planet Earth was nothing more than a dot in the cosmos. To the Intergalactic Coalition, a group of advanced species that spanned across thousands of star systems, humanity was a curiosity. The Coalition had visited many worlds, catalogued countless species, and observed civilizations in their ascension and eventual fall. But Earth, the home of humans, remained an enigma, a mystery they were yet to fully understand. The League of Galactic Scientists, a collective of the Coalition's brightest minds, had been studying Earth for centuries. They had seen the humans grow from primitive creatures, barely aware of their place in the universe, to a species capable of interstellar travel. Yet, there was one baffling aspect that had confounded them. Humans seemed immune to an element that should have wiped them out. On a remote observation station orbiting Earth, a group of the Coalition's finest researchers gathered around a large holographic display. Dr. Z Theory, a being of pure intellect and a leading researcher of the galactic sciences, was the one who had spearheaded the study of Earth's atmospheric properties. His species, the Yilth, were a race of beings that had conquered the art of harnessing toxic gases, poisonous vapors, and chemicals to their advantage. They had colonized hundreds of planets where the air was lethal to nearly every form of life, but not to them. And yet, humans thrived on a planet whose atmosphere was loaded with oxygen, a compound they found to be toxic in the extreme. The oxygen in their atmosphere, Z Theory muttered to his colleagues, his voice laced with confusion. It should have destroyed them millennia ago. He studied the data on his screen, his multifaceted eyes blinking rapidly as they absorbed the information. Oxygen, in most worlds, was a deadly substance. Species that encountered it often found their bodies unable to process the gas. It burned, oxidized, and corroded biological tissue, leading to death in a matter of hours, if not minutes. And yet, Earth's dominant species, the humans, had adapted to it. Even more perplexing, they seemed to thrive on it. The team of researchers had already conducted experiments on the few human specimens they had obtained over the years. They had exposed them to environments with oxygen levels that would have suffocated any other creature in seconds, yet the humans endured. In fact, they even appeared to benefit from it, using oxygen to fuel their metabolism, grow and multiply. "How is it possible?" Z Theory asked, his voice filled with disbelief. One of his colleagues, a member of the Virthar species, a reptilian-like creature with an elongated skull, spoke up. "Perhaps they are not so unique in this regard. We've seen other species who've adapted to atmospheres that would be lethal to most life forms." Z Theory shook his head, his tentacles writhing in agitation. "No, this is different. We've studied thousands of worlds. No other species has shown the ability to live with the level of oxygen found on Earth. It's as if their biology has developed in complete contradiction to every scientific principle we know." But as the group continued to study, something even more astonishing happened. One of the researchers, an advanced synthetic being known as Aroth, interrupted the conversation. "Z Theory, you should see this," Aroth said in a synthetic voice that echoed through the room. The holographic display shifted, showing a video feed of a human astronaut stepping out of a spacecraft and into the harsh environment of the Moon. The scene was not unexpected. Earth's technology had long allowed its inhabitants to venture into space. However, this was the first time that a human had traveled to a place where oxygen was practically non-existent. The Moon was a barren, lifeless rock with no atmosphere to protect the human from the vacuum of space. Yet, the astronaut, clad in their bulky spacesuit, moved with confidence. The video feed zoomed in on the human's face, revealing the clear visor of the helmet, which protected them from the vacuum. But it wasn't the technology that had caught Z Theory's attention. It was the biological makeup of the human. Aroth played back the footage frame by frame, focusing on the astronaut's breath. In the absence of oxygen, The astronauts' lungs were still functioning. They were still moving in and out, as if pulling in the very void of space and converting it into energy. Zethari's mind raced as he processed the data. The human cells were adapting, transforming, and metabolizing energy without the need for oxygen. "That's impossible, Zethari said. "How can they survive without oxygen? How are they converting the energy of space itself?" The VAR scientist spoke again, this time with a note of awe in his voice. "It's not just oxygen, is it? They are harnessing energy from the environment in ways we've never seen." Zethari, still grappling with the revelation, turned his attention back to the human astronaut. The data coming in from the footage was incomprehensible, defying everything the coalition had believed about biological limits. This was no ordinary species. What kind of species could evolve this way? Zethari mused aloud. What is their secret? The answer lay within the very core of humanity's history. From the moment humans emerged on Earth, they had been a species defined by their resilience. It wasn't just the immunity to oxygen that made them unique, it was their ability to adapt, to survive in the most hostile conditions, and to learn from their environment. As Zethari pored over the data, he came across records of human history, of their earliest days, when they were a fragile species, vulnerable to the many dangers of their planet. Yet, over time, they had learned to harness fire, water, and even the very air they breathed. Their development of tools, technology, and medicine had allowed them to conquer the world around them, transforming what was once dangerous into something they could control. Zethari's gaze shifted to another screen, where a new piece of data appeared, a transmission from Earth. A group of human scientists had recently sent a message to the coalition, asking for assistance in their search for life beyond their own planet. The message was simple, but its implications were profound. It wasn't a plea for help, nor a sign of desperation. It was a challenge. "We know we are not alone," the human message read. "We have survived everything Earth could throw at us. Now we want to know what the stars hold. Will you help us reach them?" Zethari's mind spun as he processed the information. It was clear now that humanity's greatest strength lay not in their ability to survive the oxygen in their atmosphere, but in their drive to push the boundaries of what was possible. They had not only survived in a poisonous environment, they had thrived and evolved in ways that defied the understanding of even the most advanced species in the galaxy. As the transmission ended, Zethari turned to his colleagues, his voice now filled with something close to admiration. "It seems," he said, "that the humans are ready to join us in the stars. But they won't need our help. They will forge their own path, just as they always have." And as the vast reaches of space awaited the arrival of humanity, the once quiet observers now stood in awe of the resilience, adaptability, and indomitable spirit of a species that had evolved in the face of an environment that should have destroyed them long ago. Humanity was ready for the stars, and nothing could stop them now.